about to right now.
We're keeping your late talk 1580, and we
So
build it like
what's the
this.
show like? What's the show like? Bologna-ish in here.
Okay, hold on a second, Keisha. Just let me ask Ronald exactly what's going on because it takes two to tango, and I need to hear his side of the story.
Ready to go?
Ready.
The ladies was here every night. See the light.
Come on, Tap. Don't do that.
See the light. You ain't sure.
Hit that like button. Let's go. Search for a gatekeeper.
What does it mean to be psychologically flexible? What happens if you're not? How do you know if you are? That's what I'm talking about today. I'm Dr. Tracy Marks, a psychiatrist, and I make mental health education videos. Psychological flexibility refers to your ability to adapt to changing circumstances and be able to cope with any distress that those circumstances create. Another way of saying it is the ability to pursue your goals even in the face of adversity. And there's different models to conceptualize and address this issue of cognitive flexibility. There has been Gestalt therapy, which is based on the idea that the whole person is greater than the sum of your parts. There's cognitive behavior therapy with the concept of cognitive distortions. And then there's acceptance and commitment therapy, where you learn to face adverse circumstances by reframing them around your values. Then there's the newer approach called radically open dialectical behavior therapy that focuses on disengaging from your tendency to be over-controlled. There's no one right way to address this, but for this video, I'm going to focus on how it's defined using the radically open DBT approach. Using that framework, here are 5 signs of cognitive inflexibility. Inhibited emotional expression. With this, you keep a very controlled emotional expression. People don't know that you really have a temper or you're very anxious. You may refrain from talking about your feelings and exposing your vulnerability to people. You may also use the silent treatment to punish people. Number 2 is being hyper-vigilant and overly cautious. You may be slow to warm up to people and very guarded in new situations. You may be very risk avoidant, only experimenting with the unknown when you can be sure of all the possible outcomes. You don't have much of a sense of humor, and you're very serious-minded. You notice small errors that people make and feel compelled to point them out. In general, you experience life as hard. Number 3 is rigid and rule-governed behavior. This is based on an excessive need for order and structure. You're strongly guided by what's the right thing to do. and you expect others to do the same. You compulsively rehearse and plan. You're motivated by obligation and duty. Number 4 is being aloof and distant in relationships.
Lord have mercy. She was talking to me. She was talking to me. The voice of reason has returned to KBLA. It's a new week. It's Monday. Your brother Zoe Williams has come back to the scene of the conversation. The voice of reason is live on KBLA Talk 1580. And really what I wanted to point out by playing that video or playing that clip, that audio clip for you, is how inflexibility can kill relationships. Inflexibility can destroy intimate relationships. Tonight's topic, relationship yoga. An intriguing look at the benefits of pliability for healthy relationships. Yoga, Sanskrit word yoga, 1820. From Hindi, yoga, from Sanskrit, yogas, literally union, yoking with the Supreme Spirit. Now this is about to get deep. Yoga comes from the Sanskrit root yuj. That means union, to unite or connect. It is the union of the body, mind, and spirit. Very deep stuff, right? But here's the Sanskrit word for flow. Sansara, right? Sanskrit word meaning continuous flow. And then there are other words that are very intriguing for me. This one's a little harder to pronounce. Prasrabi. What does it mean? Pliancy, flexibility, or alertness. It is defined as the ability to apply body and mind towards virtuous activity. So you're starting to see, I'm laying this down right here. You must have what the Sanskrit word namya means. You must be able to bend, to be pliable, to be flexible in relationships. Why is it so difficult? Typically, it's because you've come from a certain family or a household that communicated a certain way that you modeled, right? If you come from a secretive family, this is our business, we don't talk. If you come from a collaborative or a cooperative family or an avoidant family or an indifferent family in terms of communication, whatever style it is, you take it to your adult relationships and you get a little rigid, right? You get a little rigid. This is how I was raised. This is how I was brought up. And the only real way to grow, right, is to get out. Listen, somebody meme it right now. The only real way to grow is to get outside of what you know. Now, it's hard to do that because getting outside of what you know means kind of deconstructing yourself, your identity, because typically what you know, you identify with. The Sanskrit word D, Sanskrit, right? This is a beautiful word here. In Sanskrit, this is the word for understanding. And their definition of it is reflection, religious thought, mind, design, intelligence, opinion, meditation, imagination, notion, and intelligence. So why is it that we're so rigid in relationship? Well, listen, I'm one of the most rigid people you'll ever meet. I got a whole spiritual circle of people around me, praying, making special healing baths. Just, the boy is frozen, and they're constantly urging me to open up and feel more. It's a struggle. If you've been through what I've been through, you'd be skeptical of people too. I can be exceedingly inflexible in life and in relationships. And listen, I'm skeptical of people. It's a weird situation. I want to tell truth a little bit, y'all. Are y'all going to join me? 1-800-920-1580. What does being rigid in a relationship mean? How can high and inflexible expectations ruin relationships? True or false? Just like a rigid muscle can cause pain and restrict our range of movement, so can psychological rigidity. Fixed thoughts and patterns of behavior can have a negative impact on our relationships. I'm a creature of habit, I admit. I admit it. I admit it, Lord. My woman is trying to help me out. But, I don't be listening all the time. Anyway, I got something for you. Are you a bamboo? This is for you, Andy. Are you a bamboo or an oak tree in love and relationships? Are you an oak tree, Andy, or are you a bamboo? Which one are you? In your relationships, Andy, if I were to liken you to those two trees, those two plants, are you an oak tree or are you a bamboo?
I'm an oak tree.
Inflexible. It is just what it is. Bamboo is flexible. It's going to bend in the wind. The Sanskrit word for to bend, right, is namya. Namya.
All right, then I'm bamboo.
No, you're not. You already done claimed it. It's all right. Let me just say this. Nobody is monolithic. Sometimes I will have a moment of bamboo. I'll be like, okay, bamboo was cool for right now. This was a cool bamboo moment. But then I'll go back to oak tree. I want to hear from the callers. I want you guys to call me and tell me which one is your safe space psychologically. Bamboo? Like, do you run to bamboo? You get flexible when problems are in effect? Or do you become rigid? Do you turn into the oak tree when problems are in effect? Who are you in a crisis? Now, I can honestly say, no lie, in a crisis, I become an oak tree. In a crisis, excuse me, I said that wrong. In a crisis, when problems are big, I become a bamboo. But when problems are small to me, or I judge them as small, and this is where I make it a problem, I will judge them as small, I become an oak tree. I want to know, who are you in conflict, right? Is it bad to have high expectations in your relationships? I think not. But it can be bad if those expectations are inflexible. High inflexible expectations typically don't work out well. But some would argue that they do. 1-800-920-1580. Call me. How can I improve my understanding of my partner? Is cultivating understanding in relationship a type of flexibility? See, let me just say this. You guys hear me talk about this all the time. Relationship is the university of you. This is where you get revealed to you. If you want better relationships, see how you show up in relationship. That's how you do it. You see it, and then you claim what is yours to claim. Right? How does one build psychological flexibility? What brings understanding in a relationship? How do you solve understanding issues in your relationships? Are you one who perpetually feels misunderstood? I know I feel like I be speaking Greek sometimes. 1-800-920-1580. When I come forward, I'm opening the phone lines. I want to know what you guys think about tonight's topic. Get in here, share your stories. Let's get busy.
The reasons that we're here, the reasons that we fear, our feelings will disappear. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Hey, y'all call in. Let's go. Let's get the phone lines lit. Can we get it popping?
Hi, Maisha Cairo here, KBLA, live at Chase Bank.
I got my computer fixed.
For the In This Together tour with female business owners.
Yo, call in. Let's talk.
Tips on building business.
This is a conversation. Can I get y'all to talk?
Business consultant.
Talk with me.
Lisa, what's one tip you'd give to business owners here in the Crenshaw area?
Everybody hit that like button.
I'm originally from Brooklyn, and I grew up.
Everybody hit that share button. Come on, y'all. Where we at today?
And if I could only leave a business owner with just one, I would tell the business owner to identify their why. And I think that is so.
Where are we?
It's going to be that strength on those days where you feel like you're struggling.
Phone call.
That stepping stone. Those days that you want to give up, your why is going to be the reason that you get back up. And how would you advise business owners looking to acquire capital?
Can you guys hear?
Know before stepping inside the branch to ask for funding. So, three things. I do want to share this when it comes to the power of capital and just finding those resources. Understand that capital is a three-part of a business, right? It's not always about the monetary piece, but if you first put that intellectual, right?
Can we get there, Don Williams?
So I need to know. That will help you to then package.
And Zinga, can I hear from you tonight?
So no matter who you're banking with, you should know your banker. Never walk into a bank and you're transactional only. It's just like Lisa to drop gems. I'm Maisha Cairo in the community for KBLA.
It was crowded in here the show before.
KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. South Central Youth Empowered Through Action is the youth component of
Hit that like button, everybody. Let's get those likes up.
Community Coalition. South Central Youth Empowered Through Action has chapters at almost every
Nobody's
South
calling.
LA high school. Say Yeah, as they are popularly known, is located at 80th and Vermont, but serves young people all over South LA. Under the COCO umbrella, they train youth organizers, serve scholars prepared for college,
Live in 1 minute.
For students to help them gain admission to top universities. South Central Youth Empowered Through Action fosters teen activism, where young people have led campaigns moving tens of millions of dollars to South LA schools and forcing officials to make AP classes available to students in under-resourced institutions. SCES scholars have taken part in the March on Washington, been published in major news outlets, and been elected to city council. Long before she was mayor, Karen Bass started the program when she founded the Community Coalition. To donate, volunteer, or enroll a student in South Central Youth Empowered Through Action, please visit cocsouthla.org. cocsouthla.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA, the voice of reason, 7 to 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. You know how I do. Topics galore. The topics you want to talk about when it comes to relationship. Are you a bamboo tree, swaying in the wind? Or are you an oak tree, firmly planted in your beliefs, actions, and mindsets regarding love and relationship? How do values and beliefs impact relationship? Flexibility or honesty in relationship? Which matters more? The definition for psychological flexibility, also known as emotional flexibility and mindful flexibility, refers to being mindful and present when faced with an interpersonal conflict or stressful situation. See, a lot of people got opinions about relationships, right? They just got opinions. I believe relationship supposed to be like this. I believe relationship supposed to be like that. I believe. Listen, the quality of your relationship is a direct reflection of the quality of the relationship you have with yourself. Whatever you've worked on, whatever you dealt with, whatever you've overcome will be reflected back into your intimate interactions. I'm faced with this all the time. Soon as it go bad with me and my girl, we ain't never had no real knockdown, drag out argument. But soon as it goes bad, I be like, damn it, I got more to learn. Gosh, when are the lessons over? But the lessons keep coming. And one of the keys to being flexible in relationship, right? Here's another word, another term for it. You have to be adaptable. Regardless of what the situation is doing, you have to adapt to the situation and take the best from the situation. And oftentimes, we spend too much time complaining about what we don't like about the situation as opposed to adapting to it and extrapolating the best from it so we can change the nature of the situation. We don't want to change the situation. We want to complain about the situation. Ooh, we really don't want to change it. What we want to do is share our opinion about how we don't like it. 1-800-920-1580. Can we talk about psychological flexibility? Can we talk about how pliability in relationships fosters the health of the relationship? Listen, we got San Francisco on the line right now. Rhett, Bay Area, San Francisco is on the line. Talk to us, brother. Yes, yes.
An amazing topic. Haven't chatted with you in a while. I hear next playing. When am I going to get my audition ready? I need you to be my manager. But besides that, I would agree with you that being psychologically flexible is not only a skill that needs to be cultivated, but it's contingent upon who you are being pliable for. My relationship manager, being my wife, I find myself being far more pliable to her wants and sometimes her demands based on the equity she has earned in the relationship. I am forced to be pliable at my place of work based on the power dynamic between those that provide my paycheck.
Yeah, I was about to say.
That they get in return.
Right.
So I would say that when I think about sort of my subsidiary relationships, friendships, acquaintanceships, I am more situation-based. I can be bamboo based on the circumstances that require said flexibility. Because for me, and probably for you, what is most important is that I feel psychologically safe in that relationship, and then I am more willing to bend and ply and be moldable. But what say you, brother?
I see what you mean about the safety piece. The safety piece is a big piece, right? You don't know who you're opening up to. You don't know what their intentions are. But what I know from a spiritual space is that whoever is in your sphere, whether they mean you good or harm, they're still there to teach you a lesson. So, in my opinion, you're going to have to open up just a little bit. You're going to have to open because they're there. How did they get there? See, let me just hit you with this. And you've read some of my books. By the way, my books are available at kbla.store. Go there right now. The Relationship Dismount, The Shrouded Lighthouse, as well as the Holographic Relationship are all available at kbla.store. Go get your copy now. I'll mail it off with its signed signature on it. But let me just say this. I know a lot of people are afraid to be hurt. And so they become skeptical. But when skepticism becomes a way of life, you tend to miss out on good things that can come into your life as well. Do you agree or disagree with that, Red?
I agree. I heard you lean into the importance of that psychological safety, and then I heard you bring in the spiritual component where I find myself conflicted.
Exactly.
That the safety is needed, but then the spiritual component, you said it so beautifully before
So-
I got on the line, is that
So-
you have a lesson to learn. And how do you do that?
So watch me hit you. The spiritual part has no safety in it. Only fear comes with safety. When we come forward, Zoe is going to keep cooking. Stay with me, Rhett. I'll be right back. We on fire already. The voice of reason still has a lot to talk about.
It's on fire tonight. It's the
Only the fear.
Williams exclusively on KBLA Talk.
Fear is concerned about safety. Spirituality, there's no fear.
Information Network, former President Trump is preparing.
There is no fear in the spiritual pursuit.
He's indicted by a Manhattan grand jury involving.
And this is where you got to get comfortable with the unknown.
Trump has called on his supporters to protest. 3 men will soon face sentencing after they were convicted of killing South Florida rapper XXXTentacion. The jury read guilty verdicts for the men. Police say they ambushed the rapper near Fort Lauderdale in 2018. They then stole $50,000 from him before shooting him to death. The men will hear their punishment on April 6. Black actor and filmmaker Jordan Peele's next project is getting a release
Hey,
date,
D. Will.
going out on Christmas Day.
Yo, I saw that, D. Will. D. Will, hey, thank you, man. Thank you, D. Will. Who else? Nzinga. Reggie White, what up?
Find everything you love listening to.
We in here, y'all. Let's go.
Mysteries, true crime, sci-fi, and more. Audible is the home of storytelling, audiobooks, podcasts, and originals. Sign up for a free 30-day trial at audible.com.
Hi, I'm civil rights attorney Areva Martin, host of Areva Martin in Real Time. Weekdays,
Oak tree or bamboo?
Right here on KBLA Talk 1580. Be sure to tune in weekdays at 4:35 p.m. for your daily
Oak tree or bamboo?
Rival trial of LA City Council member Mark Whitley Thomas. The case is
Come on,
sure
y'all.
to have many twists and turns.
Can we hit
Our
that?
program will be the show of record in the case of United States versus Mark Whitley Thomas. We have our own seasoned justice correspondent who will be checking in with us to keep you up to speed on the daily details of this high-profile legal case. Be sure to tune into Areva Martin in Real Time weekdays at 4:35 p.m. for United States versus Mark Whitley Thomas, only on KBLA.
Come on, y'all. Where are my people?
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 joins you in standing for voting rights. When We All Vote is a leading national nonpartisan
California
initiative on a
red.
mission to change the culture around voting and to increase participation in each and every election by helping to close the race and age gap. Created by Michelle Obama, When We All Vote brings together individuals, institutions, brands, and organizations to register new voters across the country and advance civic education for the entire family and voters of every age to build an informed and engaged electorate for today and generations to
I
come.
love y'all. Y'all my peoples, man.
Supporters and volunteers to take action through voting, advocating for their rights, and holding their elected officials accountable. Please visit whenweallvote.org.
My werewolf is coming back.
Voting rights. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
California is a great place to live and work.
Let's
But
get
those
some
aren't
new
easy
callers.
things to do for students also going to college. That's why the state created the Californians for All College Corps, a way for students to build skills and help others while earning up to $10,000 for school. Commit to serve your community and we'll help you pay for college. Spots will fill up fast, so learn more and apply today at www.cacollegecorps.com. That's www.cacollegecorps.com. California is a great place to live and work, but those aren't easy things to do for students also going to college. That's why the state created the Californians for All College Corps, a way for students to build skills and help others while earning up to $10,000 for school. Commit to serve your community and we'll help you pay for college. Spots will fill up fast, so learn more and apply today at
Truemonger say he a bamboo oak.
www.cacollegecorps.com. That's www.cacollegecorps.com.
You got advanced prostate cancer, but you're not waiting around. You want straight talk. Govix.
Orgovix Relagolix 120 milligram prescription tablets is a treatment for adults with advanced prostate cancer.
I would love for Attila to call in. I would love for Don Williams to call in. I would love for Carmel Light 5 to call in. I would love it. Shug Mac 510, call in. Ridiculous, call in. Sean Wells, call in.
Side effects include hot flushes, increased blood sugar and blood fat levels, muscle and joint pain, decreased blood hemoglobin levels, increased
What up, what up, what up? Call in.
diarrhea. Other side effects include weight gain, decreased sex driving, erectile
Attila
function
said,
problems.
what?
Orgovix may cause
Yeah,
infertility.
only
Talk to
fear
your doctor if infertility is a concern for you.
comes with safety. Safety and fear go together, they're twins.
Visit govicfacts.com.
What you got for me?
11:30.
30.
Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. You're listening to the voice of reason with Phil Williams. Only on KBLA Talk 1580.
Yeah! My playlist is my co-host. That's Morse Day and the Time, Oak Tree. And it's fitting for our topic tonight. Are you a bamboo tree swaying in the wind? Or are you an oak tree, firmly planted in your beliefs, actions, and mindsets regarding love and relationship? Being psychologically flexible allows you to see another person's side and work on a compromise. Melissa DeVarnes Thompson, LMFT, that was her quote. Psychological flexibility allows an expansion of perspective. And many people have a narrow, small view when it comes to relationship because they really have their spirit balled up because they don't want to get punched in it. They don't want to feel any pain. And Rhett and I from San Francisco were speaking on the other side before we came forward, before we came full circle. And I was talking about safety and fear. Go ahead, Rhett, your thoughts?
You know, though, I was listening to you say that only fear creeps in when you think about the spiritual component. But I guess my question in reverse to you is, are there times that psychological rigidity sort of aligns with the spirit if there's fear there? And maybe that is telling, maybe that's a good thing?
No, I think you said it in reverse. Where there is spiritual elevation, there is no fear. Where there is psychological rigidity, it is rooted in fear. It is rooted in self-protection. It is rooted in, because remember the clip we played at the top of the hour. The clip at the top of the hour was basically saying she broke down the five things that tap into, or the five aspects that illuminates psychological rigidity. And there's a withholding, there's an inflexibility, there's a self-protection, and all of that's rooted in fear, sir. All of it. So
if the fear that you mentioned leads to safety, or what has kept you safe? Maybe it was the fear of a partner, the fear of a situation, the hair standing up on the back of your neck. What if that is your foundation because that fear that you were experiencing led to you being safe?
Okay, so let's separate now. Are you talking about clear and present danger? Like if I walk outside the studio and there's 12 lions in front of the door, that's clear and present danger. That's clear and present danger. The zoo truck turned over, all the lions survived, and now they're standing at El Pollo Loco. That is fight or flight. That's different. What we're talking about mainly when you see this psychological fear, right? That's anxiety. That's projecting. That's projecting into the future or reflecting on the past, what I should have did, what I could have did. Do you see what I'm saying? So there's a difference there. There's a difference there. And a lot of people in relationships are trying to project to the future so they don't have to relive what they went through.
Well, let me ask you, may I ask you a potentially controversial question, but I'd love your perspective on it.
Well, either it's controversial or it's not. What are we doing? Come on.
What if, and I'm not saying me, but what if when you are in intimate relationships and you are with a partner that you've been with for an extended period of time, so there's a level of comfort there, what do you do when it is hard to be flexible with someone that you know you have a better answer than? It reminds me of sort of Will Smith in I Am Legend, like my logic is undeniable. What do you do when being rigid is what leads to the road less traveled because maybe you're just better at that decision making?
But see, here's the problem with the whole structure of the question. It is not your responsibility to understand for whomever your partner. You can't understand for them. And you might think, yes, this is a better answer than you may have, but they might not be ready to receive it. And you have to look at how you're delivering that answer. Are you delivering it from a space of condescension? Are you delivering it from a space of superiority? Or are you delivering it from a space of support? Right? And support can come in many different ways. Like, for instance, have you considered this road? See, you can couch your superior answer in that framing, right? Have you considered this particular path, and now it's up to them to walk that walk. Whereas, listen, I'm smarter than you. And clearly you're struggling with the sheer brilliance of the answer that I have just delivered to you. Now, if you had any sense, you would have automatically snapped this answer up because it would have lifted your IQ by 12 points already. But you refuse. Now, if you go that route, of course, people are going to shut down, right? They're going to shut down. But again, we have to remember, somebody told us we're supposed to help our partners. The only thing we can do is help our partners see. We can't help them understand. What do you mean, see? You are a physical representation of the work they have or have not done. That's why you're in their life as a relational partner. Does that make sense?
Now, why you gotta throw all them gems? Keep it see but not understand that. You can't just be throwing all them gems back to back. Yeah, give us some time to process the first gem.
But that's what it is. This is why fear is related to comfort. Right? Once you get comfortable, there's the fear of, I don't want this to end. No, sorry, Bob. I'm going to stay right here where I can nuzzle, and I'm going to nuzzle right into this normalcy right here. This feels good. But when it's time for you to learn something, guess what happens? When you're learning, guess where you are? You are outside of what you know. And sometimes that's scary. You can't lean back on what you know when you're learning, because sometimes learning recontextualizes all you thought you knew. So there's an uncertainty and unknown there. And a lot of people are afraid of the unknown, brother.
So now I got a last question. I can't monopolize the line.
We'll hold tight, because we got to come forward. You just stay there with your question. When we come forward, I'm going back to Rhett in San Francisco. We love the conversation.
Is it good to you? More Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams when we come forward.
I'll tell her, why am I crazy? What did I do?
Women's History Month continues as we honor the Black women who have made a way for us throughout history. Laisha Cairo here with your K-Black Minute News, brought to you by Blendistry. Civil rights activist and broadcasting executive Zernona Clayton has been honored in Atlanta.
You know your
for
face
all
be
her
itching,
astounding
man, when
efforts
your hair
within the
growing
civil
back.
rights movement over the years. On International Women's Day, she was honored with an 8-foot statue by sculptor Ed Wright in downtown Atlanta. Some of her contributions to the movement include being instrumental.
Fear is a form of protection when there is clear and present danger. But psychologically speaking, fear is not protection. In your mind, fear is a prison. It's holding you back. It's a limiter. It's a type of governor.
Has child support suspended your license? Illegal. Has child support...
What did I do, Attila? You said I was crazy.
Log on to child support.
I be getting called crazy all the time. Start believing that shit.
Our Weekly Los Angeles is the largest audited Black newspaper in the state of California, with a distribution of over 50,000 copies weekly. Pick up a copy every Thursday to get the latest news on African American communities of LA. You can also keep up with what's going on in Los Angeles and surrounding cities by going to www.ourweekly.com. The Our Weekly website is updated daily with the current news about us and for us. For your advertising needs, Our Weekly offers economical advertising packages to
Ghetto Gourmet, man, I love you, brother. Thank you. If we could get $185.99, it would change it would change everything, man.
www.ourweekly.com. Our Weekly Los Angeles, reporting news that matters to you.
It would change everything.
Thanks to our new sponsor, Lendistry. Lendistry is a national Black-led small business lender that is headquartered in Los Angeles. Lendistry
I'm just telling you that right now.
owners
It would
access
change
the
everything.
affordable capital needed to grow. Visit Lendistry, LENDISTRY.com/KBLA today.
Congratulations to Revolution Company for being this week's winner of KBLA's Office of the Week. Log on to KBLA1580.com to enter your office to win lunch for 10, delivered by John O'Groats Family Restaurant.
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Wake up in the morning and I ask myself, it's like worth living, should I blast myself? I'm tired of being poor and even worse, I'm black. I'm gonna cut you, I'm looking for a person to snatch. Cops give a damn about a need, bro. Pull a trigger, kill him, he's an evil. Get a to the kids who the hell cares. One less hungry mouth on the welfare. Don't ship them, don't let them kill them brothers. Give them guns, step back, watch them kill each other. It's on the right back, that's what Huey said. 2 shots in the dark, now Huey's dead. I can love my brothers, but we can never do no pain unless we share with each other.
Ladies and gentlemen, Tupac rapping about changes. Where there is psychological flexibility, there is adaptability. One can change. The reason why changing is very difficult for people, excuse me, let me change the word here. Instead of change, because change is easy, I believe. The reason why lasting transformation is very difficult for people, right? Because it requires self-reflection. Listen, psychological flexibility means, hey, I can adapt. I know the situation is hurtful. I feel my feelings. I embrace my feelings. And listen, I'm one who struggles with feeling. I promise you. I'm Dr. Spock in my relationship. Drives my girl crazy. I'm a nutcase when it comes. I'm Dr. Spock. But I'm saying I'm learning to feel the feeling. This is what's going to lead to psychological flexibility. Many people struggle with it. My brother is still on the line. Red, San Francisco, California. Get in here.
Okay, well, the final question of the night, so I can open up the line. What is the right answer? Far too often you do these shows, you present these opposing arguments, and you're left to wonder, what does Zoe think? So what is the right answer?
See, and there you go. You like me, Red. We both can't be Dr. Spock. Only one character. I'm Leonard Nimoy. You got to be somebody else. You're thinking like me. It's linear. What's the right answer? No. What is the best aligned answer? So for people in relationships who struggle, again, we turn into oak trees because we want to be right. We want the right answer. No, it's really about alignment, energetic alignment, right? Hey, I may not be 100% correct on this, but let me get in alignment with how you feel about it. So we can collectively work together and come up with an answer that is mutually beneficial. When you get the writeraholic on deck, the writeraholic says, I have a better answer than you. And because you can't understand it right now, what do I have to wait 8 months for you to evolve to my level? Listen, how did you even get in a relationship with someone that was that far beneath you? Typically, it doesn't happen, right? According to Benjamin Carney out of UCLA, nobody is that far ahead of their partner. Regardless of what they think, nobody's that far ahead of their partner. Does that make sense?
It made perfect sense. I'm still digesting.
No, you want to be right. I see it. I come on. You're Tuvok. I'm Spock. You're Tuvok.
There's only one thing that is definite based on stats and statistics, and we've talked about that ad nauseum. Bro James. Everything else, I suppose, is subjective. But alignment, when you're dropping gems tonight, make sure y'all hit those cash app and super chat and buy the books.
Yes, 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 brother. I appreciate you, man. And thanks again. Rhett from San Francisco, California. Always a great conversation with my brother. Now,
Yes, sir.
let's do this because I got a couple more callers that I got to get to. If you want to join the conversation, all you got to do is call me at 1-800-920-1580. I love Thomas Campbell, the guy who wrote the book My Big Toe, My Theory of Everything. This was a physicist turned metaphysician, spiritualist, and he said something very powerful about fear. He said, fear is like mind cancer. It is a disease of consciousness, a dysfunctional condition of ignorance trapped within a little picture. Didn't I tell you inflexibility deals with the small because it builds walls to protect whatever is inside? Oh man, dysfunctional condition of ignorance trapped within a little picture. An immense digital computational capacity based upon binary reality cells that are the fundamental constituents of an aware consciousness or mind. What he's basically saying is you got a small mind when you're in a fear-based thought process. Psychological inflexibility is basically saying, I'm too fearful to get outside of the small picture my mind has constructed. The small picture represents the safe space. If there will be growth, you must step outside of that. This is heavy stuff tonight. Who we got on the line? Do I have time? Well, let's do it. Mimi from Jacksonville, Florida has joined the fray. Talk to us.
Hey, Zo. Hey, everyone.
How you doing? Mimi?
I'm doing great. Thank you for asking, Zo. How are you?
I am alive and well.
Great, great. I think this is a great topic. I just wanted to say that I think that if both people are being open and honest with each other in the relationship, it's really difficult to be inflexible. And I would say that I am strong in my beliefs, but ultimately I'm a bamboo tree.
So how are you strong? Well, that makes sense. You Pisces, right?
Cancer.
Oh,
I love it.
you watered in. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Yes.
No, that makes
Yes.
sense. You're strong in your beliefs, but you're a bamboo.
Yes.
So you might be a bamboo with oak tree roots.
Well, yeah. I was thinking I'm like a mixture. I mean, I'm not rigid, and like I was telling someone in the chat, I was saying, I thought your other caller, honestly, I thought he was talking about his sexual desires in the bedroom, and obviously I got the wrong thing out of that last question, because that's not what he was saying at all, so I totally misunderstood that question until the end.
It's quite all right. Don't worry about it. It's okay. We often confuse what people say. It's quite all right. But
So he wasn't saying that at all. That was the bottom line.
no, he wasn't saying that. Sorry, he wasn't. So let me ask you this. You said honesty, right?
And openness. Yes.
And openness. These are qualities of flexibility. My question to you is, what is your breaking point? Because you've heard that old saying, bend but don't break. What would be your breaking point?
When he stops being honest with me, when he stops being open, when he becomes rigid.
So what are the signs of rigidity in relationship that you recognize, that you see?
He thinks that his way is the only way, and he is right, and he's not open to me or other thoughts. My thoughts or other thoughts.
So you talking about Rhett. Rhett just got off the phone. You just talking about Rhett right now. No, but these are great. These are great examples of the rigidity. You dig your heels in, and you think what you think, and you don't consider what other people have to say. Remember, psychological flexibility is about opening your perspective so you can see the validity in what another perspective is presenting. Your thoughts?
Absolutely. And this is something that was just going on with my mind. I just wanted to say this. I think that your intimate, how do I want to say this, relations sexually with your partner, you have to be open with that as well. Because for me, it's the whole mind, body, soul thing. And we have to be just flexible. Well, not have to be. It's good when we can both be flexible, open, honest, flexible with each other.
Okay.
Somebody else might have been thinking the same thing I was thinking about his question, and it's just still in my mind. I'm sorry.
Ain't nothing to be sorry about. Ain't no judgment here, girl. You said everybody got to be flexible. Let's all take yoga together and let's stretch it out. Let's go do it. Thank you, Mimi. We appreciate it. Jacksonville, Florida is in the building because of Mimi. If you want to bring your city in the building, you know the routine. All you got to do is call us at 1-800-920-1580. Tonight's topic is getting deeper and deeper. I think, personally, psychological inflexibility, of course, comes from our childhood. It's a part of the trauma package. But I also feel like if you don't undo it, it's going to ruin your relationships, because relationships are constantly growing and evolving as the people are growing and evolving. And if you struggle to change, or maybe you change superficially, but if you struggle to really transform who you are, it's going to cause problems in the relationship. Fear is the destructive energy in man. It withers the mind. It distorts the thoughts. It leads to all kinds of extraordinarily clever and subtle theories, absurd superstitions, dogmas, and beliefs. One is never afraid of the unknown. One is afraid of the known coming to an end. That's Jiddu Krishnamurti. When I come forward, we're going to get deeper into this psychological trap that many people don't even know that they are in.
Take the evil out the people that be acting right. Cause both acting right is tonight. And the only time we chillin' when we kill each other. Take the ill to be real when they heal each other.
Woo!
It ain't a secret of the seal, the fact. The penitentiary's packed and it's filled with blacks. But some things will never change.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Doug Davis, and here's the latest from the Black Information Network. Former President Trump is preparing to be arrested in New York City on Tuesday. However, that will only happen if he's indicted by a Manhattan grand jury involving a hush money payment to adult film actress Stormy Daniels. Trump has called on his supporters to protest. 3 men will soon face sentencing after they were convicted of killing South Florida rapper XXXTentacion. The jury read guilty verdicts for the men.
What y'all think? Talk to me about tonight's topic. Put up whatever emoji you want. We're at 98.95. I want to thank everybody for supporting today. I want to thank everybody for showing their love. Please continue to support. I know it's only 54 people in here. What in the fuck be going on? I don't understand how the So What show gets. We was at 600-700 today. And this show routinely gets 50. But it's talking to the same subscribers. For the life of me, I don't understand that. I don't understand it for the life of me. And if you notice, slowly but surely, the numbers of the So What show is going down. I'm just saying. Do y'all see it, or is it me?
About Tavis Smiley. Now he is back with
the support for the So What show is definitely suspect. You're 100% right. It's sus.
So Mo, considering your knowledge of Tavis works in his audience. What's your take on this?
Well, I think in a general industry sense, I think it's
100%.
There are more outlets, there are more talk radio.
I'll be like, I don't even know the people in there.
At that point, I think talk radio has been too homogenous for too long.
Real quickly, is it going to succeed, yes or no?
I think it's going to succeed. You think?
Nah, man. Remember, this is the same time slot.
We're KBLA Talk 15.
Or is it?
And we don't black down.
We still had an evening time slot at Dash. Dash is doing 2000. Voice of Reason, 2000.
Become your cellmate. Does black love still exist? What are your bedroom turnoffs? Fantasies
Oh, for sure.
Financial infidelity. I'm dating a fat person. Are they worth the wait? Trust me, it's gonna be crazy.
How about the child wasn't here and you still had to pay child support?
It's a very heated topic.
How was that right?
Mama's baby, daddy's maybe.
I just have so many questions I want to ask you.
I was like, is this gonna be a wall up there?
He told me he had a vasectomy.
I'm pregnant.
Betrayal has been committed. I hit you with a bad touch routine. How does he maintain his humposity?
He likes it when it kisses the nip.
Why can't you open up, brother?
I'm a karate man. Karate man moves on the inside. They don't show their weaknesses. Yeah.
How do you write women so well?
Zoe Williams.
Reason and accountability.
The voice of reason.
Psychological flexibility means being fully aware of your current circumstances as they are happening and showing up with all of the emotions, feelings, and thoughts that a human being can have. Depending on the situation, a person who is psychologically flexible is able to change or continue their behavior based on their values. A good way to think about psychological flexibility is by imagining a triangle, where psychological flexibility has three parts: being present, open up, and do what matters. Being present. Being present is one of the most important skills we can develop. So often, our minds get caught up in rehashing things that have happened or rehearsing things we are worried will happen, that we forget to pay attention to what is happening right now. Oftentimes, the things we rehash or rehearse are worse than the things that are happening in the moment. Instead, notice what is happening to you internally and externally. What are your feelings, emotions, and thoughts? What is actually happening in the environment around you? Noticing how things look, sound, and feel can help take you out of rehash and rehearse and back into the driver's seat to make decisions and act on your values.
Love that audio clip. Rehash versus rehearse. Being psychologically flexible means you're present. You're in the present moment. Mindfulness. In the now. Eckhart Tolle has a famously popular book, The Power of Now. Being present in the now, right? What did I just tell Rhett in the last hour? Anxiety is that perceived threat, and then the lion's outside the front door. That is clear and present danger. That is in the now. That's fight or flight. Oh my God, there's lions outside. Or you're standing in a bank, something more realistic. You're standing in a bank and somebody pulls out a gun and puts it up to the back of your head and said, yo, this is a stick up. This is a hold up. Everybody get out. That's clear and present danger. That's real. So what happens with the rehash part versus the rehearse part? Rehearsal is for the future. Rehash is refried beef. I thought you guys got over what you got over, but you keep bringing it up. I thought you guys forgave each other. I thought you guys were back on track. Not if you keep bringing it up and dangling bits and pieces of it. That's rehashing, right? Or like what I like to call refried beef. We had beef. We forgave each other for the beef, but you keep going back and refrying it. Right? That's the rehashing piece. The rehearsal piece is, what am I going to do now? I don't want to experience this again. I don't want to see this again. And most people stay on those two lines of time. They either stay in the past or they stay in the present or in the future. The key is to be present, and it's a difficult thing to do. Let me give you some tips here. How do you solve understanding problems in a relationship? Well, first and foremost, you got to be open and you got to trust. You got to be consistent. And you listen, let me just say this, man. A lot of people don't want to work on relationships. They just want whatever feels bad to go away. They don't want to actually be proactive in making it go away. But listen to what I'm about to say. If you trust each other, then hey, let's trust each other to be present. Let's trust each other to not rehash. Let's trust each other to not rehearse, but let's trust each other to be consistent in the moment. Let's find the time to be consistently in the moment with each other every day. Maybe 10 minutes. Maybe we don't have a lot to talk about, but maybe we just sit and we're present and we're engaged. Can we do that? Then to be on time, right? Show up. Do what you said you were going to do, right? Be fair, even in an argument, right? Be empathetic towards your partner and their feelings. Man, boy, okay. Call when you say you're going to call. Communicate. Share your feelings. Open up. This is how you can gain some understanding, man. Ask questions. We got callers, man. Callers all over the place. Sean, Oakland, California. Get in here.
Hey, brother, Bamboo Oka.
I got the phone call.
You had a wonderful, analogy between the bamboo and the oak tree. And there's no doubt that at a certain time in my life when I was much younger, I was much more the oak tree, like pretty inflexible because I thought I knew everything, right? And this has nothing to do with all the other young people out there today. I'm just talking about me. When I was young, I was very structured and boom, this is how I wanted to do it. But as I navigated life, I realized that I needed to be the bamboo. And by the way, it's not just a bamboo swaying in the wind. A bamboo has tentacles running under the ground. Like, you cannot kill a bamboo. Let me just repeat that. You cannot. It's almost impossible. You can, I guess, if you go scorched earth, but throughout the world, the bamboo has tentacles that keep running under the ground. So my point is that it's much better to be the bamboo, but also have that oak tree in you on certain issues, because, there are certain issues that I think you and I, we just, look, there are certain issues you don't want to discriminate. Don't be, sexist. Don't be racist. Treat people like you like to be treated. It doesn't even have to be the Bible. It's just like there's certain things you can be the oak tree about. But when it comes to the bamboo, this is real relationships, man. Because a million different things can happen at any moment. And you've got to be resilient. You've got to be flexible. You've got to be, like you said, trust the people that you have around you. Mm-hmm. And then you work with them to see the best solution. Sometimes it's just a good enough solution, people. Okay? It's not always a perfect solution. Sometimes, and a lot of the time, it's mostly a good enough solution or gray area. Where it's just kind of, we're in the middle here. We're still working this out. I just want people to be thinking all the time and not always want the answer to be like bam, bam, boom, bang, like right this second. Because if you're able to be more flexible, it really takes stress off of you and the relationships you have around you. And that way everyone can operate in an atmosphere in which You're going to learn from the people around you. They're going to learn from you. And you get to move forward. That's what you want to do. Move forward from whatever you're trying to move forward from.
Man, I love it, Sean. Thank you so much for the insight. You brought Oakland, California in the building. If you want to bring your city in the building, all you got to do is call me at 1-800-920-1580. When I come forward, we're going back to the phone lines because the phone lines are popping. People want to talk about it. Are you a bamboo or an oak tree?
The reasons that we're here, the reasons that we fear, our feelings won't disappear. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Are your utility bills getting hard to pay? Get some relief with Easy Save. Income qualified LADWP customers can save money on their bills and discover even more savings. Learn how and apply today at ladwp.com/easy save. That's ladwp.com/easy save. Saving money made easy with Easy Save.
I'll second guest dinners with friends because they can be interrupted by diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or oily stools. It turns out I have EPI, or exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, which means I'm missing the enzymes needed to digest food. My doctor prescribed Creon, pancrelipase, an oral prescription medication that replaces pancreatic digestive enzymes. Creon treats EPI due to cystic fibrosis, chronic pancreatitis, pancreatectomy, or other conditions.
Creon may increase your chance of fibrosing colonopathy, a rare bowel disorder. Tell your doctor if you have a history of intestinal blockage or scarring or thickening of your bowel wall. If you're allergic to pork or if you have gout, kidney problems, or worsening of painful swollen joints. Call your doctor if you have any unusual or severe gastrointestinal symptoms or allergic
Said
reactions.
your bowel wall.
Creon is directed by your doctor and always with food. Do not chew capsules as this may cause mouth irritation. Other side
Yo,
effects
yo,
may
yo,
include
yo,
blood
yo.
sugar changes, gas, dizziness, sore throat, and cough. These are not all the side effects.
Yo,
of
yo,
Creon.
yo.
Creon is the number
Y'all
one
calling?
prescribed EPI treatment.
I
Ask
need
your
some
doctor about
callers.
Creon for EPI.
What we doing on the
Visit
super chat?
creoninfo.com or call
Y'all set the marks and then we don't hit the marks. What are we doing?
creoninfo.com.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
I've already said I'm rigid.
Job opportunities and shut down by systemic racism.
I'm more oak
KBLA
tree than
stands with
bamboo.
you in fighting for the rights of black workers, and we don't black down. The Los Angeles Black Workers Center is a dynamic alliance of workers, organized labor, community-based organizations,
Live in a minute.
clergy,
Got it.
students, and scholars, working collectively to improve the position of the black working class. The LA Black Workers Center takes a comprehensive approach to addressing the black jobs crisis. Their programs promote access to quality jobs, racial equity in hiring and retention, discrimination-free job sites, and they prepare black workers for employment in high-wage, career-track jobs. The Black Workers Center supports workers who need help protecting their rights on the job. They give workers access to quality jobs and remove systemic barriers to employment. To sign up for free career readiness training, get involved in organizing around anti-discrimination, learn about union apprenticeship programs, or sign on to a trade registry, please visit www.lablackworkerscenter.org. That's lablackworkerscenter.org. Together, we can beat the black jobs crisis. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk.
That's a season. That's a season that come every week. You're right.
It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
One wanna rhyme, pushing lies, prison borderlines. We got arms, but won't reach for the skies, waiting for the Lord to rise.
Ladies and gentlemen, the voice of reason, your brother has returned to KBLA Talk 1580 live from the heart of Leimert Park. We have an amazing topic that was coming. I've been telling y'all, man, it's about being in the now, flowing. And it's hard to flow though for people like me. I'm an oak tree with bamboo tendencies. What are you? Are you a bamboo or an oak tree? Are you flexible like the bamboo? Right? Do you bend but you don't break? Or are you old and rigid and stuck in your ways like an oak tree? And we've seen oak trees crack. We've seen them break. We've seen struck by lightning. We've seen all kind of stuff happen to the oak tree. I want to know, are you flexible in your relationships or inflexible? Do you cultivate understanding? Do you stay in the moment? How do you stay in the moment? Does anybody know? Sometimes you have to ask yourself, what am I experiencing right now? That brings you right back to the moment. Right? Oftentimes you might be in the past. You'll be like, oh, I'm thinking about the past. Zoop, let me get back to the moment, to the now. Right? What is happening to me right now? You're back in the moment. Right? Ask yourself, what am I feeling? What am I thinking in this moment? Brings you right back to the moment. And a bigger question is, what is happening in your field around you? Brings you right back to the moment. You become more observant of what's going on. You're back to the moment. Oftentimes, if we focus on what we didn't get or what we expected to get, we think, oh, guess it's time to be disappointed. Again, psychological flexibility allows for nuance, for the widening of perspective. You get to say, well, I didn't get what I wanted because of A, B, C, D, E, F, G, these circumstances around it. This is what prevented me from getting it. Doesn't mean I will never get it, just means I didn't get it when I thought I would get it. But oftentimes when that kind of thought process is applied to our partners, we tend to think we're making excuses for them. 1-800-920-1580. Who's on the line? Who's been on the longest? Bowman, Grand Prairie, Texas. Been on the line the longest. Get in here, Bowman.
How you feel? I actually want to tackle both topics. I should say both parts of the topic. The first being, what's the first part?
So you want to tackle something you don't even know what we're talking about, Bowman?
I'm sorry, high expectations though. Sorry about that. A huge reason why high expectations can ruin relationships is because, one, certain people are on certain levels. Like, for instance, if somebody wants to get married and the other person's not ready mentally, it can ruin a relationship because another person puts so much pressure on somebody to be into something that the other person's not ready for. Meeting them halfway is not even in basically the discussion because they just aren't ready. Another way is, with high expectations, is I would say trying to use that person for making up for what you don't have to get you to a certain place in life. So that's just my opinion with the high expectations. When it comes to inflexibility, a lot of it has to do with ego. It could be a power struggle.
But couldn't that be applied to your high expectations, ego? Because I hear what you're saying. You've reduced it down to transactionalism. That's what you did. But that could be an ego-based thing too. I deserve the best of the best. I deserve to be taken care of. I deserve to be able to tap into your resources. Isn't that what you just painted?
Well, let's use it as trauma. Let's talk about somebody's trauma, right? From their past. A woman might not like me constantly opening the doors for her, right? She's so independent where she doesn't even want me to open the doors for her because what if she sees that as, okay, what is he trying to prove to me? Is he trying to just make it seem like he's a good guy. I don't really know if he's gonna try to take advantage of me if I've, you know, basically been the need toward him. When really I might be a genuine guy, actually open the door for her to let her know, hey, I'm protecting really your womb and you, because one day you may be potentially mother my child. So she may not see that. You know what I'm saying? So it could be just a power struggle.
Okay, so first off, it's not your job to protect somebody else's womb. That's number one. And it's okay to do it, but it's not your job because they're supposed to heal from their wounds. It's not always your job.
I'm saying if we're with them. If we're with them.
No. I understand exactly what you're saying. But what's interesting about you, Bowman, you always use the woman and her experience as your example. What about you, Bowman? Are you a bamboo or an oak tree?
I'm a bamboo. I'm a bamboo because I like to have peace at night. I like to go to bed, not angry. So I'm a flexible dude.
Because I know he's talking about common courtesy, taking care of a girl, but you taking care of a woman, right? Opening the door for her, blah, blah, blah. But you can't understand, like if she was going through some type of traumatic situation, you can't understand that for her.
No. But I want, eventually I have to sit down and show her, okay, here's why I do this. Because at the end of the day, when they say there's levels to this, like when you're being taught as a kid, open the door for the ladies, things like that, it's just a basic level. But when you get older, you're like, okay, now I know why I'm walking by traffic as opposed to, as opposed to just doing it. Now you're understanding it differently because you're protecting that person. They are your legacy. You know what I mean?
So let me just say this again. Let me say it again. I gotta say it again. As partners, as the couples, right? We in a relationship, right? Me and my girl. It's not my job to heal her wounds, but I am supposed to be there for her as she heals her wounds. I'm supposed to walk with her. I'm supposed to comfort her, but I can't do the work of healing. Only she can.
You have to be
so,
light to something.
So no, sir. That's not how it works. I don't know who told you it worked that way, but it doesn't work that way. And we might be saying the same thing, just only different. But it's not our job to heal them. You can't be a light unto anybody unless you're a light unto yourself. And if you become a light unto yourself, you know what happens? You tend to attract other lights who don't necessarily need your light. They just reflect a similar vibration and frequency because we're all on the same level. You hear people talk about this kind of phenomena on a lower level of consciousness, which is success. When you hear people talk about be around successful people, because they don't have the behavior, the thought process, or the schedule of people who are lethargic and not doing nothing. So find some people that are actually doing what you'd like to do and then get in their energy. Well, that's a spiritual principle. In relationships on the spiritual level, the same thing applies. Did you know that when you raise your spirit, you raise your relational circle? I know you ain't used to hearing it that way. You graduate from the relational circle you once were a part of. Oh, my brother, Ghetto Gourmet said it this way: value for value. So it's not your job to protect them. Sometimes, listen, in a lot of ways, I don't know if you have kids. Do you have kids?
No.
Exactly. See, boy, get some kids and learn some stuff. Listen, sometimes you gotta let your kid bump their head, because bumping their head is a better teacher than you. Do you understand? Sometimes, okay, keep messing around, and then they mess around, and then they keep messing around, and then they bump their head, and then they got to come back to you. So again, it's not your job to heal your partner. Your job, or protect them in that way. Now, I'm not saying don't be a protector as a man, meaning physical proximity. I'm with my woman. weirdo walks up and starts tripping, I'm gonna do what I need to do here. That's what that is. I'm not saying that, but I'm talking about psychological stuff, internal stuff. That's work they got to do, sir.
Right, obviously. Right.
All right, brother. I love you. I appreciate you for calling in. And now I'm tired. Anyway, Bowman Brook, Grand Prairie, Texas in the building. If you want to bring your city in the building, all you got to do is call us at 1-800-920-1580. Get ready. We got JW. He been on the longest, South Central Los Angeles. Talk to us.
Hey, how you doing, Joe?
Hey, brother J-Dub, you got to keep it short. We up against the clock. We got 2 minutes. Talk to me.
Yes, sir. And I'm right now for the job. First of all, I'm always coming in at the bottom half of the show. But anyway, here's my point. Like I always say, if you're open-minded, that means that you're not narrow-minded.
Huh.
A person that's open-minded has the ability, or as you and another guest you have in the show, talking about having the ability to have a capacity. And if you have that capacity to comprehend and learn and grow, and it's going to work for you to be a self-starter and be able to be flexible and fluent, then you can be ready at the moment. You'll be right on time all the time. You don't have to get ready because you stay ready. That's all my point.
I follow your point, brother. I appreciate it. Thank you for the jewels, man. JW, South Central, Los Angeles in the building. If you want to bring your city in the building, ring it up. 1-800-920-1580. The voice of reason is on fire tonight. Listen, when I come forward, one of my favorites is on the line, Brother Reggie. And if you've dropped, all you got to do is call us right back because the phone lines are cracking. The voice of reason is on fire. Let's do it.
Stay on the mind, but I write many lines and literally slides, baby signs of the times. Many say the lines on the mind. Shorty's running out and everyone wanna rhyme. Pushing lies, killers and borderlines. We got arms, but won't reach for the skies. Waiting for the Lord to rise. I looked into my daughter's eyes and realized I'ma learn through her. The Messiah might even return through her. If I'ma do it, I gotta change the world.
It's on fire tonight.
Tell Callie Soul to get a new phone, man. She still sounding like an alien.
Callie Soul, call back. But you got to call from a payphone. He said you sound like an alien. Something's off with your phone.
Former President Trump is preparing to be arrested in New York City on Tuesday. However, that will only happen if he's indicted by a Manhattan grand jury involving a hush money payment to adult film actress
Hey, y'all.
Stormy Daniels. Trump has called on
Aren't y'all proud of me? Look. The computer is fixed. We got a new screen. The computer is back. They fixed this shit in an hour.
And then we'll hear their punishment on April 6th. Black actor and filmmaker Jordan Peele's next project is getting a release date. It's coming out on Christmas Day 2024. However, there isn't any official name yet, as Universal Pictures is only calling it Untitled Fourth Film directed by Jordan Peele. And that is the latest. I'm Doug Davis from the Black Information Network and BIN News.
Man, we had to get it done. Because if I didn't get the computer fixed today, we would have been on KBLA again.
Injured in a car accident or at work? Call the accident guys to speak with a real expert attorney.
Thank you,
for a free
Atala.
consultation.
Hi, I'm civil rights attorney Ariba Martin, host of Ariba Martin in real time. Weekdays, 4 to 6 p.m. right here on KBLA Talk 1580. Be sure to tune in weekdays at 4:35 p.m. for your daily download on the federal bribery trial of LA City Council member Mark Whitley Thomas. The case is sure to have many twists and turns, and our program will be the show of record in the case of United States versus Mark Whitley Thomas. We have our own seasoned justice correspondent who will be checking in with us to keep you up to speed on the daily details of this high-profile legal case. Be sure to tune into Ariba Martin in real time, weekdays at 4:35 p.m. for United States versus Mark Whitley Thomas. Only
I was glad we could see the show, but I'm glad we back here. Exactly.
Hey, Dad,
I like it over here.
What's in this box?
This our hood.
Is this tree good for climbing?
do?
Kids are curious about everything, including guns. Talking to them about gun safety in your home is a good first step.
Twos and fuse, man. We might be out of gas, bro.
And stored separately from ammunition. Safe gun storage saves lives. Learn how to make your home safer at endfamilyfire.org. That's endfamilyfire.org.
We might be out of gas, my brother. We might be out of gas.
California is a great place to live and work, but those aren't easy things to do for students also going to college. That's why the state created the Californians for All College Corps, a way for students to build skills and help others while
That's why I'm here.
$10,000 for school.
Third eye, that's why I'm here.
And we'll help you pay for college. Spots will fill up fast, so learn more and apply today at www.cacollegecorps.com. That's www.cacollegecorps.com. California is a great place to live and work, but those aren't easy things to do for students also going to college. That's why the state created the Californians for All College Corps, a way for students to build skills and help others while earning up to $10,000 for school. Commit to serve your community and we'll help you pay for college. Spots will fill up fast, so learn more and apply today at www.cacollegecorps.com. That's www.cacollegecorps.com.
Congratulations to Revolution Company for being this week's winner of KBLA's Office of the Week. Log on to KBLA1580.com.
The show is hella dope, big brother. Well, guess what? Suge Mac 10, 510. Guess what you just did? You took us to $100.94. I appreciate you for getting us off that $98, 90 something cents mark. We were there for like 25 minutes. I appreciate you, brother. I appreciate each and every one of y'all, man. On the real.
Indeed you do.
Each and every one of y'all.
Connect you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
The possibility of lung cancer can be pretty scary, especially if you're one of approximately 8 million current or former smokers at high risk. That's why SaveByTheSkin.org wants you to know that now there's a breakthrough low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early, and it only takes 60 seconds. You stop smoking. Now start screening. For an easy quiz to see if you're eligible.
That $199 went far than a motherfucker, man.
SaveByTheSkin.org is brought to you by
Nzinga.
Do you struggle with occasional nerve aches in your hands or feet?
I appreciate most of y'all. The others can kick.
#1 nerve care company. Nervive tablets contain alpha-lipoic acid to relieve nerve aches, weakness, and discomfort, plus B-complex vitamins to support healthy nerve function as you age. Live life with less nerve discomfort.
Where did the brother just keep?
Learn more at nervivehealth.com. And try Nervive Pain Relieving Cream to block nerve pain signals.
Lloyd Hinton, my brother. Lloyd, man. My brother. Lloyd.
My symptoms would come and go. Shortness of breath, fatigue. I kept going. Then I got so lightheaded, I couldn't. My doctor said I have AFib, so I'm about 5
Brother
times
Lloyd
more
just
likely
sent
to
us a
have
cash
stroke.
app. We
Other
appreciate you,
symptoms,
Lloyd.
Irregular heartbeat,
Thank you,
heart
brother.
racing, chest pain can come and go, but the risk
Thank
of
you,
stroke
Lloyd.
stays. If you
Appreciate you, good
have- Tell
brother.
a doctor. Visit NoTimeToWait.com.
Sponsored by Bristol Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
11:30.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. You're listening to the voice of reason with Phil Williams. Only on KBLA Talk 1580.
Tried to make me go to rehab. I said no, no, no. Yes, I've been back, but when I come back, no, no, no. I ain't got the time, and if my daddy thinks I'm fine, tried to make me go to rehab. I wouldn't go, go, go. I'd rather be at home with
Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters from all over the nation, tuned in to the Voice of Reason. We got Austin, Texas, Atlanta, Georgia, and Denver, Colorado on the line. We're talking about being flexible and this thing called psychological inflexibility or psychological flexibility. I'm saying psychological inflexibility is a vestige of fear and ego. The oak tree, right? Psychological flexibility, on the other hand, the bamboo, open-mindedness, in the moment, the lack of fear, right? Where there is psychological inflexibility, relationships will suffer. Relationships will struggle. Trust me, I know. I didn't have my fair share of struggling relationships. I had the struggle ship. I've been in struggle ships. And they not cool. But as I've grown, I've started to see. The great martial artist, Bruce Lee, be like water, making its way through cracks. Do not be assertive, but adjust to the object, and you shall find a way around it or through it. If nothing within you stays rigid, outward things will disclose themselves. I need y'all. You got to understand, Bruce Lee was a student of Jiddu Krishnamurti. He was taken by Krishnamurti's work. There's a book you can buy by Mary Lutens called The First 100 Years that puts Bruce Lee's philosophical writings as it pertains to martial arts right next to Krishnamurti's work. And it's basically word for word. It's just that Bruce flipped it into martial arts. I want you to hear that last piece. If nothing within you stays rigid, outward things will disclose themselves. Empty your mind. Be formless, shapeless, like water. If you put water into a cup, it becomes the cup. When you put water into a bottle, it becomes the bottle. You could put it in a teapot, it'll become the teapot. Now, water can flow or it can crash. Be water, my friend. Bruce Lee. The moment is freedom. I couldn't live by a rigid schedule. I tried to live life freely from moment to moment, letting things happen and adjusting to them. Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee was fire, man. I don't know if y'all know that. Right? Here's another powerful quote by Deng Ming Dao. The follower of the Tao is always flexible and adaptable to circumstances. Do you know how many changes you're going to go through in your relationships? Do you know how many ups and downs? Do you know how many struggles? Do you know how many disagreements? Do you know how many impasses you're going to find yourself at? So guess what needs to happen? You need to get cool and comfortable in uncertainty, in the unknown. You're going to have to put fear to the side. Listen, my fear in relationship, I'll be transparent with you. My fear in relationship, because I'm a very linear, left brain kind of person when it comes to knowledge. I'm here to tell you right now, I will connect the dots. I'll be like, so that means this means that. I will get in my head for sure. But Thomas Campbell has a remedy for that, or he has a quote that really opened my mind up. And the quote was, belief is a fear-based response to uncertainty. Oh, belief is a fear-based response to uncertainty. I don't know, so I start answering my own questions. I start creating my own narratives. I start assuming. Do you get what I'm saying? Somebody who needs to know, somebody who needs to be right, somebody who needs to have answers. Psychological inflexibility creates that. Psychological flexibility frees one from that. Phone callers, let's go. Who been on the longest? Reggie. Austin, Texas is in the building. Reggie, let's talk.
Man, this is a good topic.
You like this one, huh?
Yeah, of course, man. A couple weeks ago, you said there's a spiritual component in everything,
Mm-hmm.
and that's real. And there's a physical component in everything too. And I was inflexible or rigid for a while. I was at Oak Street for a long, long time. And it's
Mm-hmm.
funny you play rehab coming back from the break
Mm-hmm.
because I'm a Oak Tree in rehab for real.
See?
I'm trying to be that I'm trying to be a rubber tree, to be honest with you.
Right.
Past the, saying anything else. But man, I had to be honest with myself, and I wasn't honest. I wasn't releasing my emotions. I was keeping a lot of things inside, and that's what oak trees do.
Mm.
Oak trees are stoic. They're rigid. They keep secrets. And whenever I kept secrets, I found myself being more rigid and more tight and more, just uptight about things. And I kept stuff inside so long, man. I have a kidney issue now because I kept things inside. It was just related to my blood pressure. The blood pressure was directly related to me not releasing my emotions and trying to keep up an appearance instead of being myself. And I'm telling you, there's a physical component to you making the decision to be rigid versus being flexible. If you become flexible and release your emotions, there's a physical component that will give you a benefit of doing that.
So you're saying there's a psychosomatic connection. There's a mind-body connection. You hold something in, you contaminate your organs, your body, you contaminate it, right? Is that what you're saying?
Absolutely, yeah. You can't fool yourself. Because while I was doing this, I didn't think I was keeping things inside. I just thought I was being an adult. That's what adults do. Nah, bro. I had to be honest with myself and say I was doing myself a disservice by not being truthfully, not living truthfully. That was my problem. And I'm not fixed, quote unquote, now, but I know I'm doing it, and I have to do things differently. And so I found a different way to express myself. And I mean, I'm telling you, things are better now than they were. And I'm happy about that. But my point in calling tonight is to say that there is that physical component in it, and you have to be honest with yourself, and you can't fool yourself. You can't fool your partner either, because they know what's going on.
Man, especially mine. Mine is psychic. I get mad. I be like, you cheating. You shouldn't. What?
Absolutely. Yeah, we must be going out with someone that was born on the same day or something, man.
Lord.
He's a psychic as well.
Lord.
So, man, just be honest with yourself and let the chips fall where they may. And, honestly, if you are living honestly, good things will happen to you. I mean, you kind of vibrate differently when you're honest, and you attract different people to you. You attract different opportunities to you, and it's just better living free.
Right. Hey, brother, always appreciate you, man. Always the insight. Thank you so much. Austin, Texas is in the building because of Reggie. If you want to bring your city in the building, you know the deal. The number to dial, 1-800-920-1580. KBLA Talk 1580, the voice of reason. Yes, we still got a lot to talk about. Callers coming up next.
Is it good to you? More voice of reason with Zoe Williams when we come forward.
Reggie cooking. His psychic better not be my psychic, though. Reggie.
Your K-Black Minute News brought to you by Industry. The 95th Annual Academy Awards took place this week. Although the show has black media critics in an uproar, due to Angela Bassett not winning Best Supporting Actress, we still celebrate costume designer Ruth E. Carter for becoming the first black woman to win 2 Oscars. Carter has worked on astounding films in the past, such as Selma, Malcolm X, and Spike Lee's School Days. Carter's moment has come again as she has won her second Oscar for Best Costume Design in the Marvel sequel Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. After taking home her win, Carter says she hopes that this can create more
Usher and R. Kelly, same girl. That's the record I was thinking of. Like, hey. What's the odds?
Child support taking your money? Did you know that states receive $500 million a year in incentives to put people on child support and find them guilty in those same state hearings?
Nah.
Log on to
No.
childsupportisfraud.com
No,
for more
no, no,
information.
no, 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 no.
Struggle with occasional
No,
nerve aches
no,
in your
no,
hands or
no,
feet?
no, no,
Try Nervive
no.
Nerve Relief from the world's #1 nerve care company. Nervive
No,
tablets
no,
contain
no,
alpha
no,
lipoic
no,
acid
no,
to
no.
relieve nerve aches, weakness, and discomfort, plus B-complex vitamins to support healthy nerve function as you age.
No,
Live
no,
life
no,
with
no,
less
no,
nerve
no.
discomfort with Nervive Nerve Relief. Learn more at nervivehealth.com. And try Nervive Pain Relieving Cream to block nerve pain signals at the source. Use as directed.
No
Research
sirree
shows listeners prefer a
bobbles.
personalized experience. So to help you remember, Liberty Mutual customizes your home insurance.
No sirree
Personalizes it for
bobbles.
Amber, who really misses boy bands from the 90s. Hey girl, I'm the cute one, here to tell you how Liberty Mutual customizes your home insurance so you only pay for what you need. I'm the heartthrob.
No, 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 no.
And I'm the other boy in the band everyone forgot about. Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Some people won't give you the real talk on drugs, but it's time we know the facts.
No,
Fentanyl is
no,
killing
no.
people. It's a powerful opioid, often made illegally and commonly mixed with illicit drugs. It can even be pressed into counterfeit pills that resemble prescription
Oh,
medications.
hell.
Just
Now y'all
2
got Mimi
milligrams,
on
about
it.
the size
Damn
of
it.
a few grains of sand, can potentially be lethal.
No.
This isn't an ad to scare you, but it is an ad
No,
to make
no,
you think
no,
twice.
no, no.
Get the facts. Go to realdealonfentanyl.com. This message is brought to you by the Ad Council. Live in 20 seconds.
You about to be banned. You can't come in here no more. You always causing a ruckus.
KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580.
Free dream looks.
More. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Ruby, coffee screaming out of their mouth. Bombshell, just a second, mommy wanna speak out. What I need in my life, make the body freak out. Baby seem like the type, marry me, take out. Like I'm brawling, y'all. Yes, I be appalling, y'all. Tight, hold it down, and all of y'all. Calling y'all, never chasing me down. 3 weeks, heartbroken, yes, you hating me now. She speaks, soft spoken till she making me clown. I'm taking them down.
Ladies, brothers, the voice of reason been on fire tonight. Come on, man. Talking about flowing, being in the moment. Rigidity will kill your relationships, whether they're rigid ideas, psychological constructs, i.e. beliefs, expectations, whether they're emotional constructs. The rigidity will kill the relationship. If you want to flow, you must be in the moment. You must not be in the past, and you must not project the future. I know it's difficult. But in Taoism, this best man is referred to as a sage. And by taking on the qualities of water, the sage comes close to the Tao. Right? I said that water could be described in many ways, but I think it has one chief characteristic. It's formless. See, when trauma happens in childhood, it creates a spiritual impression. That spiritual impression grows as the child grows and matures into adulthood. And now the wound is a dictator in the spirit of the person who's trying to relate to someone else who has a similar wound imprint. This is trauma bonding. This is all of that, right? If you want to be free, you must be free of the imprint of the wound. The only way to do that is to embrace the wound as you would a child of your own. It's very important. So the chief characteristic of water, according to Taoism, it's formless. And because it's formless, water is adaptable. It can become whatever it needs to suit the situation. In cold, it can turn into ice. In heat, it can turn to vapor. So the water, like sage, must be formless too. But what does it mean to be formless? It means to be free. Knowledge is a reflex of memory, according to the great Krishnamurti. So if you have inadequate knowledge, you are a prisoner to pseudo-knowledge, to a limited knowledge, to things that may not be correct, right? But let me tell you something about spirituality, about spirit itself. When you free yourself from all you thought you knew, the capacity to understand more, the capacity to gain insight grows exponentially. And you never settle on saying things like, I got a better answer, or I'm smarter than, or I'm better than. You never settle on thoughts and ideas like that. Because you know, regardless of how much more you may know than somebody else, there's somebody who knows 10 times, 100 times more than you. Let me get Callie Soul in here. She's been in here the longest. Callie, then Don from Atlanta. Callie, Denver, Colorado. Get in here.
Hey, Will, I'll make it quick tonight. I have a question in regards to the topic, because when I hear the word expectation, it reminds me of singularity or individualism. And when I hear the word goal, I think more team-oriented. Mm-hmm. So isn't it that expectation is sheer just single-heartedness and not thinking for the collective and for the team, because it's something that you just individually want for yourself, and kind of in a selfish way, whereas with goals, you have no other choice but to take it on as a team.
And I like that. I really love that. Goals, man, let's set some goals and let's be flexible with each other. And if we don't hit the goal, let's not judge each other because we didn't hit the mark. You do know that is the original Latin meaning for the word sin, to miss the mark. Oftentimes we beat ourselves up for not hitting the mark, and it's okay. It's all right. You're going to miss a couple of bullseyes. It's all right.
That's right. We're innocent.
We love you. Yes, we love you, Callie Soul. Denver, Colorado in the building because of Callie Soul. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Don, Atlanta, you got to make it quick, brother. We at the end of it. Talk to me.
Yeah, snapping. I tried to get it earlier, but it never worked out like that. But no, it's just been. I don't know. You can call it articulate or whatever, but it's like I'm a brother that it just depends on what kind of relationships we get into, and it's like, hey, at the end of the day, we just got to get through it. You know what I mean? And figure out what's tomorrow. And so I can do it. I don't have that. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about that. I don't want to do that part. But we just have to go and bounce back and make sure we take care of our women. That's all I have.
I agree with that. You cooked right there. We do got to take care of our women. I appreciate that. Thank you, brother. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Listen, you guys know how I get down, man. I start the conversations. It's your job to finish them. Why? Because these conversations need to be had on a daily basis if we are to elevate our relational experience. Again, psychological flexibility actually refers to a number of dynamic processes that unfolds over time. This could be reflected by how a person, number one, adapts to fluctuations, right? Fluctuating situational demands. That means anything could be going on in your life. How do you show up for that? Do you recoil? How do you adapt to get the best of you regardless of the situation? All right. Number 2, reconfigures mental resources. You thought you didn't have the resources, and then you learned some stuff, and then you had to reorganize it. Number 3, shifts in perspective. Number 4, balances competing desires, needs, and life domain. Listen, all this is saying is when life get tough, you know how to shift gears. You know how to change. You know how to evolve in the moment. Right? If that's what you want to do. What are the 3 pillars of psychological flexibility? Acceptance, right? And commitment to therapy. Yes, go call Dr. Jashana Johnson or some of my other friends, Mayumi McKinley or Dr. Pakoya Robinson. Yeah, I'm bringing on so many of my friends. Call them, right? Holla at them. We all need it. Is psychological flexibility the same as resilience? It can teach resilience for sure, right? It's a super skill. But do you see what I'm saying? How many of you guys have heard of the term psychological flexibility before today? How many of you even heard of it? So look at it this way. Most of us have never heard of it, right? I hadn't heard of it until earlier today when I was cultivating the show. But the reality of it is this. How we run around talking about what we deserve and we don't have super skills in place in order to get it. Ladies and gentlemen, I started the conversation. You finish it. Voice of Reason on fire on a Monday. I'll see y'all tomorrow with yet another barn burner. We're going to think again. My brother, Danny Morrison, is on his way in to keep the fire lit. Voice of Reason. See you tomorrow. Eve was on fire. Appreciate y'all. Thank you. I hope you guys enjoyed today's show. All right. Love y'all. Deuces.